Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Alright, I got an interesting one today. I'm going to cut, we got 7 agate nodules here. These are from Botswana. Alright, so let's walk through these real quick. Most of these kind of look the same. This one looks a little different, at least on the husk. Alright, I got a little bit of agate showing down here. A little bit here. So maybe I'll cut it through here. Or maybe that way. I'll try to cut it where I don't really go through any of those windows. All right, this one's got more of a lighter colored husk. It's got this little divot here. Still got some roots from a plant or something that was in it. I want to keep out of that. Maybe I'll cut it this way. Is that a window actually? Oh, it is. Possibly. I'll have to get that wet real quick. It does appear to be a bit of a window. All right, well, I want to keep out of that, obviously. So I won't be cutting through that section. So maybe this way. Yeah, let's do that. It's possibly the thicker part of the stone anyways. It's a little bit lighter here than it is over here. So I'm going to try to cut it through the darker section. I'll have to cut through that light section right there. But otherwise it looks like it's mostly dark. Sometimes when it's lighter like that, it's cut quartz. We'll find out. Okay. More of a roundish colored one. Again, lighter here than it is over here. So maybe cutting it over here on this side, over the windows. All right, more flat, although we got lots of windows on this one, mostly on the bottom here. You can definitely see some banded agate in this one. How do I keep out of that though? Could try to cut it this way, although there's a little window there too. Maybe if I cut it in between these two windows, it looks like it's mostly husk. Maybe a little bit of windowing right in that spot. So maybe I'll try that. We'll see. Okay. Kind of want to cut this one down the long part of the stone. If I try cutting it through this, I'm going to get a thin section and a thicker section. don't really want to do that. So maybe I will cut it down this way. And I think this is the last of these. Possible fracture going around that one on that end. So maybe cut this side of that fracture. Yeah, let's try that. We'll cut it this way, parallel to that fracture. All right, let me get these on the saw. We'll get them cut open and we'll see what's on the inside. I'll be right back. All right, back from the saw, got these cuts. Let's see how we did. This one turned out to be an odd quartz. It's got a ring of possibly agate or something. It's giving it that dark appearance. And some inclusions of some other stuff. I don't know what. It's got a little bit of agate around the edge. All right, well, it would still look good polished. All right. Let's go through the rest of these. So this one had the light and the dark. Tried cutting through as much dark as I could. And let's see how that went. Okay, well, that light down here was definitely this quartz. And it did have kind of a calcite inclusion. I could eat that out with some acid, but it would leave a pit. But the banding is really pretty. I don't know, maybe this is a candidate to slab up at some point, make cabs out of this one. I don't know, it is nice looking, except for that calcite inclusion. So yeah, even the ones with the quartz look pretty good. All right, another one that had some light and dark. Again, tried cutting through as much of the dark as I could. And the light stuff was definitely quartz in this one. It does have a fracture too, although the rest of the banding looks pretty nice. It's got some contrast in it. Quartz looks clean. Would definitely look good polished. Really pretty. Okay. So next up, I had this one that had some weird windows. It was hard to see them with the dirt that was still on this. Now that I've got it washed off, it's easier to see. So I wanted to cut in between these two windows and that little strip of husk. So I did. Let's see how it turned out. Whoops, get it wet first. All right, it's definitely a banded agate, but not a lot of contrast in this one. That silver is just from the saw blade. That'll come off. It does have some healed fractures in there, like where that dark line is. I don't know. I think this one's going to be a candidate for slabbing and making some cabs out of it, making it a little more translucent, cutting these thinner. That'll definitely let more light through and show off the banding in this a little better, because it does have some nice banding. And this side's got some fractures to deal with. I can see them underneath shining through. But if I'm just going to do cabs, I don't know if it matters as much. Still got some oil on this one. The water's beading up, it's hard to see. And it broke off here. Looks like there was a fracture. That one. All right. Okay, next up. So, wanted to cut through this thicker part, but away from that. And unfortunately, I still caught just a little bit of it. Plus there's a little fracture that you can see. Although the rest of this looks really cool. Nice contrasting bands. It still looks nice polished. All right, two left. This is that one that had a bit of a darker, more odd textured husk. Let's see how this one turned out. Huh. Alright, well, definitely different than the rest of them. I can see something going on in the back there. It's got some tubes. It looks like this was banded agate and it just I mean you can see the full pattern here, and then only bits and pieces of it remained in this side. It gives it a neat effect, especially when you can see that stuff underneath the surface. I don't know, maybe another cut on this one at some point. It's got some moss or something, maybe some tubes up here. All right, definitely different. Kind of cool looking though. The way it left pieces of the banded pattern. All right, last up. All right, unfortunately this one kind of snapped off here. Not a big deal, I can clean that up with the grinding wheel. Let's see what the rest of it looked like. All right, definitely the best one of the bunch in my opinion. Really nice contrasting bands, full pattern, no fractures, and then you got these tubes or stalagmites or tights, depending on which way you put it, on that one edge. Very cool. And then same on this side. Yeah, I'll definitely clean that up and polish this out. This is really nice. This one will definitely get polished. All right, that is the last stone in this set. Thank everybody for watching. We'll see you on the next video. Have a good day. Bye.